Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another Friday video on the Lost Arks. It's Arkonomics, baby. You already know, and if you don't already know, then hello, how are you? I don't know what you're doing, or why you're new to the game at this point, but enjoy the game as much as you can. Arkonomics, we take a look at the market trends over the last week. I don't know, I have like 120 something of these, so if you ever want to see the slow price adjustment of things as we go, shit, bro, you got 100 videos to watch that are roughly about 10 minutes average each. You got a good couple of hours worth of content there. You're welcome. Alright. What? Where am I? We're playing Lost Ark? No, we're not playing Lost Ark. We're talking about Lost Ark. Blue crystals, NA West as always, 5,700, 6,500. I mean, this shit. Low key. Low key. Low key, though. Low key. Last time I bought crystals is at 6K, so I don't know. But I insta-buy mine, so I guess that makes sense, truthfully. Anyways, blue crystals haven't really done much, unsurprisingly, but I don't think much is going to change for a very good reason, and that's because I don't think there's much going on in the world of Lost Ark. Also, here, let me pull up Steam charts. The only reason I'm pulling up Steam charts is because I think it's relevant to talk about in this specific instance. So, Steam charts. This is another reason why I don't think prices are going to be doing too much crazy shit, unless they do something major in game. Because after all the chaos botting, RMT botting, like you can see, the CCU has significantly went down. This is a combination of like people being burnt out of the game, quitting naturally, and then obviously the RMT bans. Well, depending on who you ask, the pseudo RMT bans, and then obviously the chaos botting bans, the CCU has been on a fairly sharp downtrend. So I think a lot of price stuff definitely is going to factor into that, and whatever existing gold is still in the game is still in the game, obviously. No shit. If it exists, it exists. And I don't think a large portion of like gold, like raw gold itself, got taken out of the game. But I do think the generation of new gold will be much lower going forward, assuming they continue these trends that they've been doing. That's the whole reason why I wanted to show that. So I think if they release a giant gold sink like a golden frog and people dump a ton of their gold into these gold sinks, I think the prices of things will lower, obviously, because gold will be worth more, and I think gold will be generated a lot slower. There's also the busing changes I forgot to mention in that sort of slump of CCU. Like I said, there's a lot that's happened in the last couple of months, or month or two at least. So how it will react on the market, I think, is going to take some time and take some adjustment in terms of inflation, but assuming they keep that trend going forward, I think the prices will probably go back down at some point. Knock on wood. Again, that's just my best guess. That's my reasoning for it. Everybody has their own opinions and their own reasoning, and I highly recommend you stick with the reasoning that makes the most sense to you personally. Just in general. Life in general, baby. Alright, old man, talk about the market. What do we got? I mean, like I said, I don't think much is going to be changing unless something major happens patch-wise or gold sync-wise, and I don't think we're going to be having anything anytime soon. So I expect things to mostly just stay unchanged, truthfully. I mean, you're going to see small price differences, like Leapstones are down a little bit, but are they really? Because a couple days ago they were still 56, a week ago they were 57. I mean, like I said, basically nothing has changed. And the reasoning for that, I mean, I just gave, kind of. I know I say this every week, but it is still mind-blowing how insanely cheap Tier 4 shards were compared to Tier 3 shards, especially when the Express event first dropped. Shit was like 4 or 5 times the cost. Like, I get it, I really do, but it's just, conceptually, that feels very wrong to me. Like, very wrong. And I know people might use the argument, well, it was the same way with like tier 2, tier 1 shard bags and tier 3, right? And you're not wrong, but I feel like there's a large difference between tier 1 and tier 2 versus tier 3 and tier 4, where they're not really a very large difference. In tier 3, tier 4 is essentially tier 3. Let's be honest with each other. There was no hard reset, essentially. It's just like a conversion, a transfer of materials. So I think that's why the tier 3 stuff being worth so much still feels bizarre to me, because it feels like people should just start in tier 4. I think that's where I get hung up on it. So tier 4 should just be the only shit that matters. I don't know. I definitely have a different opinion than most other people, from what I understand. Well, maybe not most other people, but the vocal majority or minority, whatever you want to call it. Ooh, adrenaline books are spiking back up. Let's go. Go back up to 500k so I can pay 9 million gold for my 20 adrenaline books. Please and thank you. I just... it's so expensive. I mean, 450k would be 9 million, right? That's how math works. I don't know. Shit's expensive as fuck. And I will look at the other engravings since people wanted me to. Well, more specifically, I believe it was Azunan, and Azunan is my goat. But this is why I don't really show them, because there's not much going on. You pretty much have, like, 3 or 4 separate tiers of pricing for books. You have the Adrenaline tier, then you have the Grudge tier, then you have the Keen Blunt Raid Captain Cursed All tier. These are all roughly the same. Obviously, Keen Blunt is a little bit higher right now, but historically you can see they're like the same prices. So that's why I group these 3 up together. And then you have like the 100k books, I guess, which is Mass Increase, Hitmaster, Ambush Master. Then you have like everything else. You have a couple 40k books, I guess. 30k books, 20k books, and then everything else is pretty much like, not worthless, but very, very cheap, and then you get into the worthless books. But that's usually why I only show the first page of engraving books, because I think compartmentalizing them into tiers and groups of like price tiers makes the most sense, and that's just how I've always done it, mentally. But yeah, you don't really have much going on anywhere else, excuse me. And the truth of the matter is, it's just because these books aren't super useful because the engravings aren't super useful. It's just, these engravings are so powerful and you're able to use them on pretty much every single character in some regard. So it makes the most sense to buy Adrenaline books, for example, right? Because you will use Adrenaline on... At this point, I think you'd probably use it on every single class in the game, no? Especially since the Adrenaline... fucking bonus is just so much extra flat attack power. It's just ridiculous. I don't know. I mean, that's why Adrenaline is number 1, obviously. And then Grudge, you're obviously going to be using on every single character that does damage. It just gives less than Adrenaline does. But these 2 books you're going to use on literally every single character in the game, right? So, They could have done a lot different with engravings going to tier 4, but they definitely chose not to. And this is the result of it. Is what it is, I suppose. Siderials, what do we got going on here? Siderials 1.1 mil. Recent price 1.1 mil. Haven't sold any today. No whales are buying. Well, let me fix that. No, I'm not gonna buy this shit. Miss me with that. I've never gotten a fucking blue gem. Sad days. Not that I really do raids anymore, but back in the day. Come on, where's my blue gem? Let's take a look at gem. LV10. I mean, again, I don't expect there to be too much going on here. I think it's pretty much going to be the same prices, which it kind of is. Because I remember last week, there was a couple gems, like, damaged gems were listed for 3.8, but that's because the 3.2s had already been bought. And I can see here, damaged gems are 3.2. Level 10 cooldowns are, like, essentially 2 mil, we'll say, which I think is exactly the same as last week. So again, this doesn't surprise me, and I think it's... I've explained it. I explained it at the beginning of the video, why I think things are going to be mostly unchanged going forward. I don't know. Let me know your guys' thoughts as always. I mean, I got really nothing else to say. Shit, that's everything, right? These videos just go by so goddamn fast. I wish there was more, you know? But I'm at the mercy of the content cycles just as much as you guys are. Anyways, like the video if you like it, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thank you to my YouTube members, as always. Remix my life. I'm Nufu. It's Biscuits and Diz. I love all of you guys very, very much, and including you, you wonderful viewer. Bye!